first place we need to start is asking ourselves, do I want to have a sex life that is designed to protect my partner's ego? Or do I want to have a sex life that's designed to bring me pleasure and fulfillment and enjoyment?
Sex toys are such a simple and effective way to make your sex life so much fucking better.
I'm Zack.
And I'm Abigail.
And together, we're fucking up.
And getting help from the pros so that you don't have to.
This is adulting. All right, welcome to part 2 of our Sex-capades series, everybody. Today, we're talking all about sex toys.
I just love this episode so much. I think it might be my favorite one of the series.
We had such a blast, just talking about sex toys and our own experiences. And then we learned so much. Vanessa taught me so much about intro to sex toys and
intro to literally orgasming.
If you want to orgasm, this is probably the episode you want to listen to.
A lot of times I feel a little uncomfortable with the fact that I fucking love sex toys and masturbating. And I think it's great. And I think a lot of times when you're super comfortable with that, people are like, what's wrong with you? Or you're a freak, or you don't actually have sex enough or whatever. And I think that this episode is really wonderful because it shows a lot more than just it's just masturbating. There's some type of vibe, and it really brings people together and happiness and pleasure. And I don't know. I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about or anything to be shy about when it comes to positivity around self-pleasure.
No, pleasure yourself, enjoy yourself, live your best life.
Do it.
Are we ready to live our best lives?
Ready.
Let's go. Let's dive into it. Give me all the vibrations.
There are a lot of misunderstandings about sex toys. I think amongst people that have never used one before or kind of grew up in a way where the idea of a sex toy is just totally not talked about. That is not part of life. And I think a lot of people just think when they hear sex toy, they think dildo, especially women. Yeah. And it's this is not the first sex toy that you should be getting. It's probably not going to be the most pleasurable ever. Mm-hmm. And so I think, we talk to a lot of women on Instagram that are like, oh, my husband asked about sex toys, so I just ordered this dildo. And we're like, oh, wait, no, don't.
No, don't start there.
So where should we start? Or let's start with what those misconceptions are. You said that one of them is that the dildo is where to start with, and then talk to us about what is a good place to start.
I think for anyone with a vulva, a vibrator is a better place to start. So a dildo is something that goes inside of you. It basically looks like a penis, and all you're really doing is in and out with that, which isn't the most pleasurable sensation for a woman.
Do people really do we really like penises? We mainly like the man attached to the penis. We don't really like penises.
We like some penises.
Well, we like penises, but I think there's but I think there's there's a completely different experience.
Clearly, I'm the only person at the table that doesn't like penises, even though I have one. Well, I don't know. Xander doesn't seem like he loves a bunch of penises around him either.
I think just a little, dildo going in and out of you for the vast majority of women is not going to be a super fun experience. So we talked last time about the fact that female pleasure is really all about the clitoris. So if if you have a vulva and want to explore a toy, definitely a vibrator is going to be a good way to go. And so there are basically two main categories of vibrators that I recommend for people who are just getting started. So one is just get a simple vibrator. It could be a little tiny bullet vibrator. Definitely make sure you get something with high quality materials made of body safe materials like medical grade silicone. So just to try it out and see if your body responds to vibrations, because that's another misconception. A lot of women in particular think like, oh, vibrators work for everyone.
And
it's like
stronger the better.
Yeah, and then like, it's just a guaranteed orgasm. You just put it onto your clitoris and you come. And there are actually a lot of women who don't like vibrators, who don't respond very well to vibrators. So it's not like this guaranteed thing. So that's why I say, get a toy that's a high quality one, but don't totally blow the bank buying something if you've never used a vibrator before. And then the other major type to try is, just in the last couple of years, they've come out with these sex toys that are more suction devices rather than vibration. So you put it over your clitoris and it does this very light, instead of like, zzz, like the vibrator, it's like a suction type of sensation. And so there are some women who respond super well to those, especially women who don't respond to the typical vibration sensation. So those are two that you can try out.
What about for men?
For men, there are actually more and more toys these days. So for a very long time, there weren't really any, but there are a lot of male masturbators that can be a lot of fun for men to play with.
But men are born with natural masturbators.
I mean, we are too, but
sometimes the machine's just better. Okay.
Yeah. So there are lots of fun
technology
to play around with. There's
also vibration stuff now.
Yeah, there are toys with vibration, although men don't seem to love those like as much. But yeah, there are a lot of different things you can play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Cock rings too can be fun. They're not going to create a ton of sensation, but they can be fun to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But the male masturbators are definitely the way to go if you're a penis owner.
Oh my God, I am sex toy king. Sex toys are such a simple and effective way to make your sex life so much fucking better. Like the fact that people don't use them all the fucking time is mind-boggling to me. And I know there's like this fear of like, especially straight guys being like, oh, I'm a failure if like my girlfriend needs it. And I always have to tell them like, hey, can your dick vibrate?
Right. No.
Okay. Then no. Then like this is
completely different
this year. This is
right.
doing shit that you in no world can do. And just like having a little vibrator while you're having sex with penetrating your girlfriend, like makes it so much easier for her to come if she just has a vibrator on her clit.
Jen, what is your favorite sex toy?
Okay, well, obviously a vibrator, because hello. But also, and this is probably part of my problem or just lack of experience in the last year of doing sex, but the ring that has a word in front of it.
A cock ring?
There we go. I can't say it.
Why can't you say it? Because you don't like
I
the word
also
cock?
can't like talk dirty. It's like problematic. I need to figure this out before one day I do sex again.
Listen, we just came out of 2020. That's the least problematic thing you can do moving forward is say the word cock.
So anywho, I like that. And basically anything that vibrates and makes me feel good, and I guess makes the other person feel good too while it's happening. So me, I like things that happen to me.
That vibrate.
Yeah. And I've been given so many over the course of time just because all of our guests like bring lube or condoms or
Do you
vibrators.
have a favorite lube?
I would say no, because I haven't needed to use them. I literally have next to my bed is a treasure trove of things. Kind of like, remember when you went to the doctor's office and like you were a kid? Not now, they don't give you treats, but when you'd go like to the treasure box and like pick out a toy or like a lollipop or something, whatever it was for like getting a shot in your arm. That's what I have next to my bed. It's so many things and like gadgets for other gadgets. And I'm like, I don't know when am I going to use all these things? I'm ready. Let's do it.
I mean, I have no joke 300 sex toys under my bed and in closets and everywhere. I just went to a sex party where I literally like, it was like everyone was bringing dinner. I'm like, I don't cook, but I'm bringing a sex toy for each of you.
A new sex toy? Or is this
a new sex toy? A new sex toy. Somebody,
it's not a pre...
I didn't know them well enough to give them like a washed off one. But I mean, I love to use like a vibrating prostate massager when I top. So I have something in my ass that is vibrating that feels fucking incredible while I am topping. I always like to just shove, because I end up topping more than I bottom. I am more of a top, but like I love having shit in my ass and just like it feels so good. Cock rings are fucking amazing to use too. It vibrates, your partner feels it. And then for the women I sleep with, always like a wand is always like a classic thing and always helps them and makes them come pretty fucking immediately.
Do you find that there's like, you know, now that there's more accessibility, now that you don't have to go into like some little adult
Creepy store.
Yeah, some adult store. You don't have to go to like the Hustler store to like get a sex toy. Now you can go on like Adam and Eve, or you can go online and find sex toys that are discreetly like sent to your door. Do you find that there's like a more increase in popularity of sex toys?
I'm just laughing, thinking to myself about like PR packages we've been sent by some sex toy companies where it's just like male masturbator inside. Like, can't wait for you to try it out. Like, oh God.
Yeah, some companies need to step up their discreet game.
But I don't want to scare people off. There are a lot of places.
It's like in bold. It's like, you're like, no.
It really, but I won't say the name
Your
of the company.
doorman brings it. He's like, I think this is yours. And you're like, oh.
Yeah. We got a Christmas delivery last Christmas. It was just like, Merry Christmas from blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, all the stuff. It's like, oh my God. But no, there are lots of places where you can get them discreetly. And I think that's amazing. There are so many incredible sex toy companies that are like female owned, really sex positive, you know, extremely educated. I mean, some of the people that work at these stores are like, wow. So it's just made sex toys so much more accessible. I think we're talking about them more openly. People feel more, you know, like you go on Instagram and there's so many influencers who are like, here's me and my little toy, you know, having my me time. And I think that's awesome. It's just normalizing, especially for female pleasure, really normalizing like, yeah, this is just a part of our, you know, wellness. It's a part of our self-care.
I have like sex toys on me at like all here. Hold on. This is just a bag under my desk of like literal like I'm so
jealous.
Much. Hold on. Let me see if I can like. You can't see like.
It's filled. It's
filled, and
that's just chilling in the living room.
Well, this is just has too much. This is in the office. I have like random shit just like on the floor. Can you see this shit on the floor?
Oh, I have those.
That then goes into like here.
I have those.
And I have like, what else? And I have like shit in drawers. This is just like sex toy. Like it's literally oozing out from like every fucking, these are ones I actually use. Oozing out from like every single fucking drawer in this entire
I'm going
apartment.
shopping after this call.
It's literally, I get them and I'm telling like brands, I'm like, I can't stop sending this shit to me. I can't, I'm not writing you up. I'm not doing anything. They're like, well, just in case, just take it. So
take it.
So much fucking
They
shit.
know you're going to love it.
I love it. I love it. If not, I gift it. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have a favorite vibrator?
The one from, yes, it's called the Satisfier Pro from like Groupon. A girlfriend told me about it
From Groupon?
during 2020, during one of our little like staycations.
Is that the suction one?
It's suction, yeah, and air.
That's the one I fucking love that one. Oh my God.
But at first I didn't like it because I was like, why are you not just direct contact? It's like indirect contact.
It's amazing.
And now I'm like,
I love that that's your favorite.
how did I ever live without you? My Satisfier Pro.
I'm like, I have 2 minutes. This is what I'm picking because it will work in like 30 seconds. Like I orgasm multiple times with it every time.
Same.
This
and
is
like
TMI. The other day I was like, put on my, because I'm like a very much a playlist person. Like I only watch porn if I'm like, I have to be like in the mood for porn. But I have like a masturbating playlist. Love it. I looked at my phone. I had been fucking doing this shit for over 45 minutes and was still just like, it's amazing.
it is amazing. I actually like
Zach's like, what the fuck?
Wait, Zach, get yourself a masturbation playlist. Hello, you have all the technology in the world. Go to it.
I didn't even know a masturbation playlist was a thing.
For Virgos, it is.
Not for the
lists.
Capricorns. For the Capricorns, anything could be on TV and it literally doesn't matter because it's all up here. But I will say this, because I think maybe because I'm a Capricorn too, or maybe just I'm got places to be, nowhere. I'm like, let's see how fast this can happen. And I'm always like trying to like beat my last time.
Beat
And
it?
I don't time it, but I can tell. I'm like, oh my God, it's been like a minute. Like I thought this was 20 minutes while I was in the process. It was a minute. I'm like, wow, you're a good little device. Like no man can do that.
No. And then I'm like, okay, one more. I'll stop. Like one more orgasm. One more.
Just one more.
All right. This next one, like Zach, it's insane. I'm sorry. I wish you had a clip.
This is the first time I've ever really experimented with toys. And like, look, I don't know about you guys, but with me, I can have so much better orgasms without a partner. Like when it's me, I know all the buttons to push and all the spots to hit that like I enjoy sex with me more than I enjoy sex with somebody else. I've explored.
How do you feel about that, Jennifer?
So, I mean, I want to have like better sex with someone else than I do with my Satisfier Pro, who I should just name her or him, whatever that device's gender is, because we're in a relationship. So, but like, I want someone to, like, I want that for someone. I want them to be better, you know, like just if you can be better than my gadget, I'll probably marry you.
As you said, Vanessa, just penetration or jackhammering doesn't always do the trick. So sometimes you have to bring in like a little vibrator or something else to help things move along. How do we not hurt our partner's ego by saying, hey, maybe I need to bring something else into the bedroom to help me climax?
So I think the first place we need to start is asking ourselves this question. Do I want to have a sex life that is designed to protect my partner's ego? Or do I want to have a sex life that's designed to bring me pleasure and fulfillment and enjoyment?
Snap.
I think it's true. If people are uneducated or not uneducated, people are offended, then they're just uneducated about like a vagina and a clit in general.
But I think it has to start with us being like feeling worthy of pleasure and knowing like my experience matters. I get to have fun. I get to enjoy myself too. I don't need to just lie there and let sex be done to me. I get to be an active participant in my sex life. So it's like getting yourself a little fired up and like, you know, just feeling yourself a little bit, feeling your worth. The reality is like, yeah, you could tell your partner like, you suck in bed, and so I'm going to bring in this toy because you're so terrible and I have to pleasure myself. Like, yeah, that's going to hurt their ego. But the reality is that there are much gentler and easier ways to give your partner feedback, to educate them, to get them on your team. Like, I do really come down to the fact that, like, you know, I think that there are very few people out there who are just straight up assholes about, you know, their sex life and just completely selfish and jerks. I think we're all suffering from lack of education, misinformation, shame, and embarrassment. So, you know, even if your partner gets a little bit hurt at first, or they, you know, maybe don't have the response that you wanted them to have, like, try to recognize, like, this is probably coming from a place of hurt, not from a place of anger or, you know, real frustration. So there, like I was saying, like, there are definitely ways to bring things up. And I would, you know, talk to your partner, like maybe talk to them about like, hey, I listened to this podcast and it made me realize all these things that I didn't understand about sex. Will you listen to it with me? And then we can have a conversation. We can both learn more. So you're sort of, you're humbling yourself too, saying like, I didn't know, I was going about things the wrong way too. And like, look, we can learn together and do better together. So that can be like a great place to start. I think also like, okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I think also like, you know, in this example, like if the guy's feelings are hurt, like you can't control that. You can do your best to say it in a really respectful way. But, you know, if the guy responds in a really negative way or his ego is hurt, like sometimes you have to let someone feel that and kind of then untangle like, oh, why is my ego hurt? Like, is it this kind of social conditioning that I've grown up with? Is it these past experiences where I came away feeling like I was doing everything right, and now I kind of need to reevaluate like what my skill level really is? You know, I think that it's important to not try to control the situation. It's just, you know, do your part in the most respectful way. And then if someone else has a reaction that you're not expecting, like there may be some work that they need to do into figuring out why they're having that reaction.
I think that's a really great point that I didn't think about, because I was thinking of it more from a place of, I think the person that is afraid of hurting your partner's ego is probably either coming from a place of like being a people pleaser, which culturally we endorse, unfortunately, or this like feeling of, as you mentioned, Vanessa, unworthiness. Like a lot of people feel unworthy of love, and that's why we have bad dating habits. And I think we don't acknowledge that a lot of people also feel unworthy of pleasure. And that's more of a much bigger issue where you should probably call up Vanessa or go to some therapy. But, you know, we have these two issues of being people pleasers or having this feeling of unworthiness where like I don't deserve pleasure from, you know, my partner for whatever reason. And you kind of just have to dig deeper into what those core issues are. As you said, Xander, like there's, you know, always something under the surface that's not just the superficial thought of like, oh, my ego's hurt. It's because my dick's not good enough. When it's like, no, I think there's a much deeply embedded issue that needs to be worked through.
And imagine how much better the ego feels when they see their partner like in bliss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you like knowing that you contributed to that, you know, like just gotta get there.
That's worth a temporary ego bruising, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is like, it, you know, feels really good to like feel like we're good in bed and to feel like we've brought our partner pleasure. And yeah, like there's a learning process. It was like sex is a constant learning process. None of us would come out of the womb being like incredible in bed. So we have to allow ourselves to be humble and recognize like there's always something new to learn. There's always some way that we can improve. And that's great.
I think the problem is that when we go through puberty and kind of like those late teen years where we're learning everything, it's not really socially acceptable to not know what you're doing. Like we don't really have proper sex education. We don't talk about how you do stuff, what's okay, what's not okay, what's normal, what's not normal. And so we have a couple years where all of us are kind of like, holy shit, I got to figure this out right now. I can't ask for help. I got to just get it right. And then from there, like once you get it right, then it's like, okay, cool. I never have to think about that again. So we like don't place any value on learning and continuing to get better. And we also don't have a track record of feeling like we can ask for help.
So I have a few. I don't have nearly as many as Jennifer, but I like super powerful vibrations. So like I kind of like being a little in pain also, like when I'm having sex. Like I just like those things sometimes. And so I like found like this, it's insane. Like when it's fully charged. But it's like this big and it has like, it's like
It's a pocket rocket.
Yeah, but like not really, but it has like not like I'm the words slipping me. It has like a texture to it too. And it's just great. It's magical.
Is there like a link in bio? Like, where do we buy this?
I'll send it to you.
I've tried the vibrating cock rings, and I hate that word cock.
Okay.
I think I'm with you, Jen. I hate saying the word cock because it just feels so
Penis?
gross.
You could say penis or
Penis just sounds so clinical.
dick. Peen?
Peen. Okay, it's a ring that goes on the peen that vibrates. It's fine. It's not amazing. See, for me, I've found like my spot is like, it's called the perineum. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's like right in between like the base of the scrotum and the asshole. I don't really enjoy penetration in my ass. I don't love my asshole being played with at all for the most part. I kind of just love like that top little piece kind of being like similar to like what I would imagine a woman's clit like being like stimulated. Is similar to like where I find my best like moments. And so like a vibrator there for me feels really great.
Yeah, I've heard that before from men and people that advise on these things.
See, because like there's so many nerves in that area that like it feels really good. And that's why like most men don't love to be like, or at least straight men too, like don't love to be like penetrated up the asshole. Like I know a lot of people love like their prostate being stimulated. And like for men, like that's like your G spot. But like for me, I would rather like the outside be tended to more than the inside. I don't really enjoy the inside being tended to. TBH. So for me,
makes sense to me.
I'm not like I don't really love like the cock rings because all they really do is like hold the blood, so it's supposed to like make your dick bigger. but like a little vibration in like that little spot is like the sweet spot for me.
So vibration wins across the board. It's
a vibration wins.
A vibration wins, but also we also heard that like sucking is good too. The ones that do the little
air wins,
but it's still like
it like puffs. It's like
yeah, but it also vibrates. So don't get it twisted.
And it does vibrate. Yeah,
it does a lot of things because it's a Satisfier Pro.
Amazing.
It's not like a Satisfier Junior.
So vibration.
Could you imagine
wins.
if they made something called that? This is the Satisfier Junior. You're not ready yet.
You haven't upgraded to pro level yet.
Right.
You're a level 1. It actually has levels too. And I'm like, by the way, I don't mess with the levels. I'm like, let's just go all the way.
I just do. So I just do like the third setting, like the most aggressive, like puffs. I'm like, let's just go there. And then like sometimes you have to hold it to like shut it off. And then you're like, oh God, get me back to the 3. And then, or you'll accidentally press it. Like it's a situation.
The whole thing.
You have to be coordinated to masturbate.
Basically. And you need a playlist.
What is on your playlist?
I can't reveal that.
What? We need the
I do have, okay, I don't have a masturbation playlist, but I have a playlist called Have Sex to This, so that when a guy comes over and we're going to have sex, that's what I have Alexa play.
See, I like telling a guy to pick what, because I like to judge him.
Okay, I was going to say, but that might be like somebody might be Metallica.
The only thing I don't really, I don't think I could do rock music, and I fucking hate techno music during sex. Like it just makes me feel like
if it's more like housey, I'm okay. But if it's like like I don't know. I listen to techno all the time because I can replicate it beautifully. But like, no techno for me. Most of mine's like R&B or like trap music.
Yeah. R&B, rap, like those are my sexy time vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even remember what is on mine because it's been a while since I've played it. I should just really make that my masturbation playlist. But it's called Netflix and Chill because I was being secretive with Spotify. I didn't want them to know.
That's what mine's called, Heat. I like to know what to name it.
My playlist is literally called Have Sex to This. So I'm like, I don't want to say her name because I'll
try to be sly.
But I'll be like, Alexa, play Have Sex to this playlist. And then she'll be like, okay. And then it starts playing.
It's convenient.
It is. But then I realized it's public on Apple Music. So then other people can have access to my Have Sex to this playlist, which is embarrassing.
We've changed the name. So you got to get on that.
And then for like anal, or for like men that are looking to explore like more of the anus, are vibrators good for them?
I would not go with a vibrator. I would go, there are a lot of anal toys. The best brand for male toys is called Aneros. They have a ton of toys. None of them have vibration, or they might have a couple that have vibration, but the vast majority of them don't. But they have really genius like shapes of their toys that are designed to hit the prostate. So the prostate, we kind of say, is like, it's, the center of sensation for men in the anus. So the toys are designed to like really hit that. You don't need to have any vibration in it. So you can get toys that are not particularly expensive, but I also really want to normalize, it's totally fine for straight men to explore their butts too. Feeling sensation in a certain part of your body does not change your sexual orientation. So it's definitely something that I hope all men would give themselves the permission to explore.
They should. I mean, I think we should definitely explore all parts of our bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. To the guys out there who worry that somehow that says something about your sexuality, I'll just say you're missing out on a lot of possible pleasure.
I also feel like, too, for females, it's very like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. Or it's like, I want to do anal. Like, he wants anal. Let me give him anal. And it's like, well, you're going to tear something. Like, you need to use lubricant. Like, there's so many other things that go into it. It's not just like, shove it in like your first time. And like, I think butt plugs, people freak out when anyone talks about those. I think there's a way to work also up to like anal play that is very like taboo to talk about, if that makes sense. Could you walk everyone through that? Because I know like, at least of my friends, they're like, yeah, I want to do it, but like, ow, it hurt. And I'm like, no, you can't just like, No.
gotta ease your way into anal. You gotta go slow.
That's a lot of misconceptions out there.
Lots.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to explore anal, here's the super quick anal 101. First thing you need to know is that you have to use lube always. The anus does not self-lubricate like the way a vagina does. So it's going to be dry and you're at risk at tearing the tissues, just feeling uncomfortable. So please just use lube. I tend to prefer silicone-based lubes for people trying anal play because they're a little bit thicker, they last longer, they don't need as much reapplication. You can even find a lot of brands have lubes that are like anal specific. They're like extra thick, so you can try those.
So you do need to be careful because most silicone-based lubes are not condom friendly, right?
Silicone, yeah, you have to check your condom and check your lube. You want to make sure that they are compatible with each other. But so the next step is to explore just the anus itself. So you don't need to go inside. There are actually a ton of nerve endings right at the surface. So you can just explore, use your finger, finger, or your partner's finger. You don't have to do any sort of penetration, but just try playing around a little bit more there. If you're liking that, either that time or the next time, you can go slow. You can break this down into many steps. But you can try putting your finger in just to the first knuckle, so don't even go very far. Just go up to the first knuckle, see how that feels. Another golden rule of anal play is the person who's being penetrated should be in control of the movement. So, you let your partner know if you want more, if you want deeper, harder, faster, slower, you should be in control of it. So if you're liking that, you can continue going in, a little bit further. Again, I just start with a finger, just go a knuckle at a time, see how that feels. If you really end up liking that, the next step up from there is a butt plug. Butt plugs you can usually get in sets of different sizes, so you can play around with them. Sometimes you can see beads too. Some of them are just straight up wands. So play around with those. Again, start with the small and the thinner ones, and then work your way up to bigger ones. If you do want to have anal sex, even that night, I would still warm up with using fingers or toys just to make sure you're really relaxed, you're feeling pleasure, you're feeling good. And then keep using lube, ungodly amounts of lube, especially if it's your first time. And I think the position that can be best is having the person who's being penetrated on their hands and knees, and their partner kneeling or standing behind them, kind of doggy style. And the person who's being penetrated, they're the ones moving. So they push back up into their partner. And so they're getting being in control of how fast it's going, how deep it's going. But that's a good way to start.
And I'd say just be prepared for it to go a lot slower than you think, because I think we get a lot of couples who write into us who are like, oh, we tried it and I couldn't get it in. And it's okay, well, that's probably because you didn't.
You're clenching and you're scared. It hurts.
You gotta be slow. You gotta be willing for it to take time, maybe even multiple sessions to work yourself up. It's not like porn.
It's like preheating the oven. And too many guys are just let me just stick it into you and bang you and ram you from behind. And it's hold on. No, that's not how you do it. They're yeah, those are the same guys that think that every girl they've had sex with orgasm.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
One thing for me personally is I only use sex toys that vibrate at this point. I think the vibrations really allow for much more full body orgasms, which are awesome.
Are there any other sexual enhancements that you really like aside from sex toys?
Yes. So I use Promescent's premature ejaculation spray, which is chef's kiss, a godsend.
Does it really? So it really works. These sprays actually can make you last longer in bed.
So all the sprays make you last longer in bed. The premature ejaculation sprays do that. I like Promescent the most because some of the sprays I've tried, it's kind of like putting lidocaine on your dick, where it just completely numbs it. At which point it's it's effective in that I'm not going to orgasm, but my dick is numb. Yeah, it's I'm not necessarily enjoying it as much. Yeah. Versus Promescent makes it less sensitive to the point that you're not going to ejaculate immediately. Okay. But you will still come and it will still feel good, and that's why I prefer that one to Yeah, to the other brands, just because I still want to enjoy the sex. I still want to feel like I have a dick.
Right. That would make sense.
And again, you don't necessarily need to use it all the time, but if I'm sleeping with someone new and they just have a fat, juicy ass and I know I'm going to come immediately, I'm just like, I need this. I'm going to do this because otherwise sex will be over in a minute and a half because I'm too turned on. And that's no fun for They've spent an hour cleaning their hole out. Like, the least I can do is fuck them for, 8 minutes,
I love how true that is.
Well, now everyone needs to go get them a fat, juicy ass then.
Fat juicy ass. That's a plug if I've ever heard one.
Fat juicy ass all day. I have a flat juicy ass.
I always call my butthole my flat hairy hole, and people fucking lose their shit when they're fucking me. Like, you fuck that flat hairy hole, and they're like, you gotta be Zack fucking.
My God.
Yeah.
Actually, we did have one person on when we were doing questions, and I don't want to name them, but she was really concerned because she does not orgasm regularly and she has a hard time orgasming. And it must be something similar, I'm assuming, to what you're saying with the vibrators, where that doesn't work for everybody. What advice can you give to females who are having a hard time with that?
Was she having a hard time, like, specifically from intercourse?
She was very vague, but like so I had like this dark like thing where I was like, people answer questions like, and I was like, what's your biggest fear? And she literally was like, that I will never orgasm. And I was like, okay, that's valid. Like, what do you see this regularly? What is your advice for somebody who's struggling with that?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many more women struggling with orgasm than you realize. I think, like, it's an interesting conundrum that, like, as we start talking about female pleasure and orgasm more openly, there's this pressure on women to be like, oh yeah, I'm sex positive too, or I'm like a liberated feminist woman, like, yeah, I've had orgasms too. And the reality is that there are millions of women who have never had an orgasm who are really struggling with it. But it just feels like this shameful, dirty secret that they don't feel comfortable like acknowledging even to their closest friends. So our most popular course that we have is Finishing School, which teaches women how to orgasm. And it's, by far and away the most popular one. And we hear the same thing over and over again from women. Like, I'm so embarrassed to talk about this with even my closest friends. So, one of the biggest issues that comes up with orgasm for women is that we're taught to believe that we're supposed to orgasm from intercourse alone. And it's frankly, like, really sexist. Like, it's this sort of belief of, in a heterosexual relationship or, for heterosexual people, like, well, that's what works for a guy. Like, that should be what should work for me. And so there are so many women out there who are just like kind of lying there during sex. Like, why doesn't this feel very good? What's wrong with me? Am I broken? But the reality is that our bodies are not designed to work that way. Like, female pleasure, it's all about the clitoris, and intercourse generally does a pretty bad job of creating clitoral stimulation. So from a nerve ending standpoint, the funny comparison that I always like to make is that intercourse for a woman is the equivalent of like playing with a man's balls. So it might be fun, it might feel good, but it's definitely not going to be anywhere near the
for
level.
a minute.
Like, it's nowhere close to what you need to reach orgasm. The vagina just does not have very many nerve endings in it. Childbirth is already painful enough. We don't need to have like double, triple the nerve endings there. So it just gets me very fired up because I see so many women like really suffering, in a lot of pain, feeling like something is broken because their body is doing exactly what their body is designed to be doing. It's just that we've been taught all this BS about how orgasm works. So if you're wanting to experience more pleasure and wanting to make it more likely that you'll have orgasms, like, it really has to be giving the clitoris the respect that it deserves. Like, you being willing to touch it, your partner being willing to touch it, using a toy on it, doing oral sex, like any sort of those activities are going to bring so much pleasure to her body.
Yeah, and being willing to ask for that and say what it is that you want and what you need. And oftentimes, unfortunately, for many women, it's going to have to be educating their male partner about what really does and doesn't work, because unfortunately, a lot of us have gotten into this pattern of faked orgasms, sort of white lies around, oh yeah, that was good for me. And I know for me in my kind of sexual development, like I thought that things were a lot better than I'm pretty sure they really were.
For your partners.
Yeah, for my partners.
I mean, guys have been taught the same, same shitty BS about sex that women are too. So a lot of men think like, oh yeah, I just gotta like jackhammer away, or
and they're like, I came, why didn't you?
Yeah,
and the best thing I've ever heard is like, are you good or do like no, let's finish me off, thank you. But I think it's really important that men understand that, especially straight men. For sure.
This was such a powerful and good conversation because I feel like we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about ego and unworthiness just as much as we need to talk about, clitoral and anal pleasure.
Oh yeah, all the things.
Love yourself and your clit.
Love yourself and your clit.
Thank you for tuning in to The Adulting Podcast. As always, you can give us a follow at The Adulting Podcast or go to theadultingpodcast.com to stay up to date with the latest show news. As you can see, we got a little bit of a facelift. We have new cover art. We have a new logo. Our website has been revamped. So we are fully brand new and we're ready to share it with you. So give us a follow at The Adulting Podcast. If you want to keep up with me, you can follow me at Just Plain Zack.
And if you want to keep up with me, which I know you all want to, you can follow me at Abigail _AF.
Yes, give Abigail a follow, give me a follow, give the show a follow. And if you want to follow any of our guests, you can give Vanessa Marin a follow at Vanessa Marin Therapy. Give Jennifer Golden a follow at Jennifer Golden. Or you can follow Complicated Show. And you can give Zachary Zane a follow. He posts a lot of thirsty thirst traps on his Instagram stories at Zachary Zane _. Thank you for following us on this Sex-capade journey this month, everybody. Until next time, we'll be...
#adulting.